Hey guys, welcome to another video. AUDUSD has grabbed me by the balls and backstabbed me, and I'm very upset about it. Not too upset, but a little bit disheartened by it. So, if you're in my free Telegram channel, I shared this yesterday. AUDUSD buys at support. This is a daily chart, but on the daily and weekly, price was just coming into support level, bouncing, so I bought. My trade basically looks something like this. I called it live. And this is my free Telegram channel. If you're not in here, I'll put a link in the description in the pinned comment. It's a place where I share all my trades live, recaps, analysis, things like that. And so it was ready, so I called this trade out, and we got in, and this is what ended up happening. She started bouncing initially, so this is at about 7:30 a.m. yesterday. So I entered right here. This is what my entries looked like. So I bought right here. You can see how simple this support zone is, right? I bought at support, stop below, target above. And then as she went down to the next major zone right here, we're on the lower time frames now, but this is just this is the most extreme portion of the daily low. I ended up buying right there, and I put a stop just below. So that it was either going to bounce or it was going to break. And so when I added to that, it was right here, negative 20K. This ended up going against me, so I ended up closing this in just above a 30K loss. The total risk on this trade was about $100,000. So I lost, about 1/3 of what it was I was risking on this trade. And that was that. So the account still sits in a nice, healthy profit since I started this in October of 2025. We currently sit in May of 2026 right now. So still more than doubled the account. Trying to get this account to $1 million by the end of this year, but it's probably going to happen much sooner than that. We were just at $800,000 in the account, and now we're back to 763. So we'll see where it goes, but that's it for AUDUSD. Now I'm looking to re-enter this trade. I'm going to show you why. So a couple things. When we go to the lower time frames, like the 1 hour, there's a couple things we can see here. So first, okay, we need to really keep it on the daily here. Yesterday's daily candle price came into this zone. We hit the zone. We went below it, and then we pushed back up above, and then we've closed above the zone. Where did we close in the daily? Right there. We closed right there on the daily yesterday. The next daily candle opened yesterday at Asian session. Then we dipped below this zone and then bounced up even further. And now we're making another high right here. So at the time when I closed this trade, I was pretty convinced it wasn't going to be a great trade. I was convinced that it was just time to get out. And, short term, I was right. Okay, my initial entries on AUDUSD were right here, and then my additional entry was down here whenever price was bouncing there. It broke below the zone, I closed. Okay, so it breaks below, comes back above, Asian session, price goes sideways. Then we go back down and start dipping below the zone again. So I stayed out of this last night. We dipped down below the zone. We're finding resistance and support at it, kind of like trickling upwards. And then finally this morning, early New York session, and late London session, we start breaking out upwards. So what the hell am I looking for? That's what it boils down to. What the hell am I looking to actually do? Because all the logic, all the reasoning, all the little mental gymnastics of technical analysis, none of it matters if it doesn't inform an actual decision. Here's what I'm looking to do. If price comes back here into this damn support zone, I will be buying again. Okay, so let me show you exactly where I'm looking to enter. I'm going to set an alert right here, and you can be able to see the exact alert. So let's go to the daily. Let's just make sure we've got it cleaned up. I'm going to drag the alert just a little bit lower. Basically entering right here along the zone where price has been rejecting multiple times. We do have leakage past it, but this zone right here, whenever you fine tune it, it's right here along all these previous lows, that resistance there. And then the kind of the area where price closed above this zone yesterday. And so far on today's daily candle, we're closing above it as well. We're Wednesday, we're halfway through the week, so I'm just basically waiting on it to fall back into this zone, and then I'll just buy again. It's not the end of the world if you lose a trade, whether you close it early or it hits your stop loss. It's not the end of the world if you lose that trade and then price starts doing what you thought it was going to do originally. If, say for example, in this case, I thought price would bounce at support. It didn't, right? It didn't go to the invalidation of the original stop loss, but it did break below the support, and I thought it'd be a better idea to close it. I stand by that decision. It's a great way to control risk. You're going to take smaller losses on average, and then whenever you let it run to the TPs of 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, you're going to take bigger profits. It's such an easy way to trade. And I hesitate to use the word easy, but it is fucking easy. If you have half of a brain and you use 2% of that half of a brain, it is not difficult to say, I'm buying at this arbitrary horizontal line where price seems to have bounced out on the weekly and daily chart, and I'm going to put a stop loss below that line if you're buying at support, and then a target at 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. And then if it starts going into profit, hold the damn trade. When you have a winner, let it run. And in this case, let it run to the profit target. If you have a loser, the stop loss is there basically as in the case of an emergency. It functions as like an emergency. It takes you out. That's the worst case scenario. Most of the time I don't get my stop losses hit. I close around break even or small profit or smaller loss relative to the stop loss. And that enables to me, even with only a 50% win rate, because I'm not right any more than half the time. It's literally random chance. It's like a coin flip. The only reason I make money is because I happen to make more whenever I happen to be right versus what I lose whenever I happen to be wrong. So I make more when I happen to be right versus what I lose when I happen to be wrong. That's it. It all boils down to risk management. You can't predict where price is going to go by drawing stupid little horizontal lines on the chart. That's just the reality. It's like 50-50. But support resistance and technical analysis gives you a great way to structure and control risk. That's where the benefit comes in. And that's why I use support resistance as basically the only thing. I have black and white charts and I have a line on the chart. That's basically all I use to trade. And if you don't believe me, go to my Telegram channel, follow my analysis, and you will see day in and day out, it's just black and white charts with some fucking lines on it, with some little arrows showing what I think will happen. And I have made so much money in my trading journey trading this way. Just earlier this week, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, I made $209,000 in a single day. I think this was 2 days ago. This is Monday. It's just, it works so well. I've taken this account from right here from 350K to almost $800,000 up to that point. It's just, it just works so well. And the people that follow my trades, it works really well too. These are some people on my paid Discord server. I have a Discord server where I just share all my trades live. This is where I post the actual ins and outs, right? So the live, like exact entries, I post my actual terminal here. So you can see exactly the moment I entered. I put the total risk. I show all the stop losses, the targets, the P&L, every single thing, and I track everything live in here. So every single trade I've taken on this account since I started it has been called live in real time, time-stamped here in my Discord server. And we've got some people in here that are actually doing pretty good. This is one of my clients. He lives somewhere in Europe, I believe. I don't know exactly, maybe like Netherlands or something. Anyway, this is a live account. This is his live account. And this guy, me and him are car guys, so we talk a lot about cars and stuff. He's got some pretty cool supercars. And he, just from these two trades we took last week, which was GBP AUD and GBP CAD, right? These are the ones that I made $209,000 on like 2 days ago. This guy made $53,000 on them. That's pretty nuts. That is pretty nuts. I mean, I don't know how to read all this. I don't even know what language this is in, but like, that's pretty nuts. 53 grand on that. And then we've got this guy here, one of my other friends, Nick, who's there in the group. He's trading on a smaller account, right? About $1,000 equity is what it sits at now. And just on these two trades alone, GBP CAD and GBP AUD that I called earlier this week. And again, I even shared this analysis for free in the Telegram. I just don't post the specifics about the entry and the risk and exactly where the stop loss and everything is at. I just draw the chart. I say, hey, they're ready. And I draw a little arrow showing what will happen. And then you have to decide what to do. In the Nick's Trades group, I post all the exact specifics there in the Discord server. Okay. So these people can just follow in my exact trades. This guy, even on a $1,000 account, right? He had high risk. Not gonna lie, this is pretty high risk for this. However, GBP CAD, he made $200. GBP AUD, he made $100. And then in this case, it was $300. Just in those two trades over the course of, I think this took 2 or 3 days, he's covered more than his monthly membership subscription fee to my group, just from following the trades. It's very, very simple. It's very, very straightforward. And so that's that. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'm pretty happy about this week. I'm happy about everything. And I'm happy about the crazy win streak I've been on for the past 7 or 8 months. AUD USD, I will be waiting for this to come into this zone, then I'll be looking to buy. AUD CAD, I still have the same analysis as yesterday. I'm waiting on price to get into this weekly zone. If you look right in this region, this is where all of the highs and lows are bouncing. So I'm not going to be entering, obviously, up here. It didn't get all the way into the zone yesterday. We need to wait for it to come all the way down there into the support zone before buying. So that's what I'm still waiting for. GBP AUD, we bought, and it went all the way up here, like just perfectly clean. And you can see all this analysis in Telegram too. I share it before it happens. Had a nice bounce there at support, right? It was just a daily, weekly support level. That's literally all. We bought at support, put a stop below, and put a target above, and it bounced. Cool. We're right half the time, we're wrong half the time. We make more when we're right versus what we lose when we're wrong. So it works. Now I'm looking to sell if we get up here into this resistance zone. So let me just fix up my little arrow here. Price gets into this resistance zone, we're going to look to sell. Okay. Very, very simple, very, very straightforward. Where will the stop loss go? Probably somewhere like that. Stop loss will go there. Entry will be here, and then a 1-to-1 take profit will be somewhere like that. So be very, very simple and straightforward. GBP CAD, I see nothing right now. GBP USD, I'm still waiting for sells here at this zone. GBP AUD also looks very similar to this, so I might just pick the best one, I think, GBP AUD. But GBP USD still is a viable potential trading opportunity. As a matter of fact, let me just drag this resistance zone up a little bit more, and I'm going to be looking to enter maybe a little bit higher up here. So I'll keep that alert right there. Okay, so that's GBP/USD. We've got Euro GBP, which almost came to this zone where I was going to sell earlier this week. Aside from this crazy spike through this zone, prices found support, resistance, 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 resistance here multiple times. If it were to have come all the way up here, just barely, right? It barely missed it like a couple days ago. It would have been a really nice selling opportunity, but we didn't get that. It didn't go there. So what are we going to do? We're not going to FOMO in. I'm not going to enter early. I'm not going to enter before price gets to a zone. I'm not going to enter after price has already bounced at a zone. I wait for price to get to the damn support or resistance zone, and then I will buy at the support zone or sell at the resistance zone. The moment you start trying to predict and trying to say, well, it's not there yet, but let me just enter anyway, or, it's already bounced and I was asleep, so I missed the entry overnight, but it's already bounced. Let me just enter here, even though it's not really at the zone anymore and it presents a shittier risk to reward ratio and it's just a more pain in the ass trade. I don't play those types of games. That's why usually per week, I only take maybe like 1 to 2, maybe three or 4 trades in a week, but it's hard to say, right? There's some weeks there's 0 trades. It's not very often, but some weeks there's 0 trades. Other weeks there's like 4 trades or maybe even more. But it comes out, I could probably say a safe average is around maybe 2 or 3 trades per week on average is pretty reasonable. Because with the weeks where we get more trades and the weeks where we get less trades, it probably averages out to maybe like 2 or so trades per week. So with that, I missed this and I'm okay with it because I get plenty of other trading opportunities and I'm not that worried about it. So thank you, Euro GBP, for not grabbing me by the balls and letting me miss out on all this profit. CHF JPY, I see nothing for now. USD CAD, I see nothing for now. We sold last week and I lost this. I lost 150 grand last week, even though I made 209 grand this week. I lost 150K on this and one more trading setup because we sold at resistance here and price broke above. So I got tapped out at a loss. And that's the thing, that it didn't bother me. Why? Because I know, look, around the corner, I'm going to have another win streak and I'm going to make everything back plus more profit, which after this, I did that in literally it was 2 days. I had made everything back with more. I don't worry about losses. The losses are always controlled. Even if it hits the actual stop loss, the losses are still controlled because it's capped at whatever 1 unit of risk is for you. You get to define whatever that is based on your risk tolerance. For me, it's anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 per trade. That's what I risk per trade. And for me, it's a small percentage of my trading capital. I'm happy with the wins and losses. I'm happy with the P&L. I'm happy with the stats, and it is what it is. So that's USD CAD. Works pretty good. Euro JPY. I see nothing for now. GBP JPY, I was been waiting to sell at this zone here for weeks. It's not getting there, so I got nothing for now. NZD JPY, nothing, just a sell at resistance. It's going to take a while to get there. CAD JPY, nothing. Euro USD, nothing. USD CHF, nothing. USD JPY, nothing. Euro AUD, if she gets here into support, I'll be looking to buy. Fat chance, though. We need to be waiting for it to get there. It might take another week. Yeah, it might take, it could, depending on how quick it can crash there. But I think this is an amazing spot to buy. How would it look? It would look something like this. A buy there at the support zone. Stop loss needs to go underneath the zone and all the previous lows at the zone, so under that low as well. So, yeah, that'd probably be a good stop loss right there. And the target, we just then drag to 1-to-1 risk reward ratio, which in this case is just that. So, yeah, 400 pip stop for a 400 pip target, basically. But that would be good. Let me go here to the daily and see. Yeah, I might even tighten this up just a little bit and then tighten this down just a little bit. Yeah, so maybe something like this, 350 pip stop for a 350 pip target. This would probably be something a little bit nicer. Cool, but that's it on Euro AUD. That would be a good potential trade. I love it. I love how clear this zone is down here because it's either going to break or bounce, right? That's the thing. Whenever it gets into support or resistance, it either bounces or it breaks. It's not that big of a deal. One thing's going to happen or the other thing will happen. And if you're controlling risk, whether it bounces or breaks, whenever it happens to bounce at the zone that you think that it might bounce at, you'll make a profit and you'll make more than what you will lose on average than what you lose whenever price gets to a zone and then it breaks past it and goes towards your stop loss and you close it early. It's very, very simple. I don't really know how to make it any simpler, honestly. We buy at support, we sell at resistance. If it goes into profit, we hold it to 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. If it goes into loss, we get out a little bit early. It's very simple. All these other pairs, I don't see anything for now. So, yeah, I got nothing. So with that being said, that's the analysis for the week. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you join the free Telegram channel if you're not. It's literally free. You can join if you think it's bullshit. You can leave the group in 10 seconds. It's okay. You don't have to give me your email, your name, your nothing. You can just click the link and then you're in there. And then you can like leave if you don't like it. Okay, if you think it's bullshit, because me sharing black and white charts with simple support resistance levels, making hundreds of thousands of dollars, if you think that's bullshit, then fine. Okay, you can leave. You can go follow some ICT, order block, institutional trading, smart money concept, like the Wagyu beef, bullish Kobe steak, institutional candlestick, fair value distribution gap strategy. That will be fine. I will keep trading my support resistance zones, and I will keep making hundreds of thousands of dollars. All right, see you in the next video. Bye.